In this video, we'll take a look at modeling raceways in EcoSim Building Designer Connect Edition, the electrical discipline. I'm in this epower1.dgn file that was created in an earlier video, and setup was done, and I've loaded my electrical discipline. We've seen in these previous videos how we can use this building properties tool in the space management group of the ribbon interface to navigate around in the model in our architectural spaces that were imported in from the architectural reference. Again, that was done in a previous video. So I'll choose this Office 3, Room 103 space, and down here at the bottom of the building manager, this magnifying glass icon is display room shape, but not only will it show me temporarily the outline of the spaces out there, it will also zoom any open view into that space. So I see view 2 is in the top orientation, view 3 is in a front orientation, so I'm seeing that outline edge on, and then view 3 I've got rotated in a rotated orientation. I'm going to turn off this ceiling grid over here. Oh, to get out of the building manager, you can left click or right click and then close out of that dialog box. I'm just going to do a right press on my mouse and say level off, just to make it easier to see here in the video. And I'm going to place a smart line, so really a 2D drawing tool, and then we can use that smart line and convert it to our raceway. So up here in the common tools group, I'm in the electrical tab of the ribbon interface. I can get to the place smart line tool. So if I choose place smart line, in the tool settings, I'll double check I want my segments to be lines, the vertexes to be sharp, and join elements is on, rotate AccuDraw is on, and start in line mode is on. In the family parts toolbar here, I will go ahead and set my family to electrical and my part to data. So before I place this smart line, I'll go set my floor selector to the office floor 1. You can see a couple things happen when you turn on the floor selector. Is that I see the column grid out there, and then it sets my auxiliary coordinate system up to that floor and turns on my ACS plane and ACS plane snap locks. So we're going to actually draw this smart line on the floor. We'll convert it to a raceway, and then in the next video you'll see how we adjust the height of it. So I'm in this place smart line tool. I'll start over here on the upper right of this space. I'll type in enter here, and I'll move my cursor to the left, enter, locking that AccuDraw axis. I'll type in 80, left click, enter to go down, and from here I'll go 35. I'm working in feet and inches, so feet. And then I'll right click to go ahead and get that smart line placed there. I'm going to turn off the grid of the view attributes over here. My attributes dialog box is kind of stretched out there, so I'm going to squeeze it back down there. So I've turned off the grid over here. It's kind of easier to see what's going on. I'll place a T in this smart line, so that first segment that I drew, I'll come up here and get snapped to the midpoint. So as soon as I get close to it, AccuSnap will find that midpoint. I'll left click there to start the smart line. Again, enter with AccuDraw, and I'll move down here and go 25 feet. And a left click and then a right click to exit the command. So now I want to element select. So I'll right press on my mouse. Remember, that means to hold it down a split second longer than a click. So a right press gets me this context sensitive menu. I'll choose element selection, and using my control key, I'll go ahead and choose all of that line string that I placed in the model there. Now that I have that selected, I'll come up to the ribbon interface. I'm in the electrical tab, and notice we have a Raceways group of tools here. And in this set of tools, notice we have place raceway and we have convert line. So I've got my lines placed out there. I've got them selected. So I'll choose convert lines. I'll be presented with the raceway properties dialog box. So you see my system options here. In the top option, I'll choose a cable tray, solid bottom, and then notice how it populates the next two. So steel is good. You can see the list there. And I'll change the width and height to 18-inch width and 3-inch height, so the size of the system here. We choose the Preferences button. We get this Preferences dialog box, and in here I'll choose the Cooper B-line 12-inch bend radius and the Cooper B-line 10-foot straights options here, and then click OK. So now that I've got everything set, I'll click OK here. The application will do some processing, and the smart line will get converted to a cable tray based on the settings. So there I can see it in my model. So placing a smart line and converting it to a raceway. I'll go to the next video and we'll look at adjusting the height of the raceway and modifying the properties of the raceway.